Amber here. Thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates mat class. Today we're going to start with some control and not swinging our bodies around or using momentum to achieve exercises, and then we're going to add some speed or perhaps a little bit more difficulty layering onto the exercise as we go. So I know I don't normally start with this, but today we're going to start with a spine stretch. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. If you have tight hamstrings, please feel free to pop your knees a little bit so you can stack your shoulders over your hips. Otherwise, you can use a wedge or a pillow to elevate your sits bones off the ground. You can use a rolled up towel. It can be a little wobbly, so please be careful. Otherwise, we're going to separate our feet only a scotch distance or a little bit wider than hips distance. I'm going to flex my feet strongly and pull up on the muscles on the tops of my kneecaps to really straighten my legs. Imagine there's a bug underneath your kneecaps. Try to imagine that you're going to squish it. That's what my trainer tells me, Katie Rowley, all the time. From there, I'm going to inhale, exhale, float my arms up. I'm not going to float my arms up higher than my sternum and 12th rib because I don't want to start out class shrugging into my shoulders already. So I'm going to float my arms up. From here, I'm going to take a couple nice deep breaths and establish my neutral spine. I want to imagine there's a wall behind me. I want my sacrum into the wall, a slight lift from my top of my hips to my 12th rib. My 12th rib all the way up to my shoulders, flat on the wall. Make sure your ribs are close together, they're not flaring out, and my shoulder blades are nice and flat and wide. If you find it's hard to find flat, wide shoulder blades at the beginning of class, instead of placing your arms here, widen them a little bit and try to imagine pulling apart your shoulder blades to encourage them to flatten and widen across your back. The flat, wide shoulder blades with your hands more narrow will probably come later on in class. But if you cannot achieve it at the beginning of class, do not worry, right? So we're going to inhale, begin to peel the back of our head off of the wall. Then our neck will come, and then we'll begin to peel our shoulder blades off. From there, we want to imagine drawing our belly button up to our spine and rounding over an imaginary barrel in our laps. My arms are going to stay perpendicular to the floor until I begin to articulate down so far they have to slide away from my body, but don't shrug your shoulders up by your ears. So you want to keep your arms perpendicular the whole time, and this will come back up again and roll up. I'm going to put my biceps by my ears. I'm going to inhale as I begin to pull back up the wall, low back, mid back. As I begin to pull up further, and my arms can stay perpendicular with the ground, I'm going to allow them to drop back down into my shoulder. So they'll only move when they need to, so that imagine that your arms are on a tabletop. Tabletop's not moving just your body, right? There's a tabletop on either side. Your body moves to the center of the two tables. So inhale, begin to articulate off the wall. Exhale over the barrel, your arms will reach up to your ears. Inhale to pull back. Exhale, your hands will come back up out of your sternum or 12th rib. Instead of finding the most movement you can, try to find the articulation in your back and a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Let's do one more, and then we're going to move on, speeding up the exercise on a 2-count breath. Now that we have the positioning down, we're going to inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. All the movements will still be there. You're just going to use one breath down and one breath up, or one exhale up. So inhale down. Peel off the wall, biceps by your ears. Exhale as you pull back. And head comes up last. We're going to inhale, head comes down first. Articulate over your barrel, biceps by your ears, and exhale as you pull back. Sit up tall. Inhale. Nice big exhale out. Let's do one more. Good. Shake out your legs, lower your arms. We're going to scoot up just a little bit. We're going to do roll up. So I'm going to squeeze my legs together. I have them turned out into a slight Pilates feet. I have a gentle bend on the front of my ankles. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Reach my hands forward. Same idea with the arms. They're going to stay coming out of your sternum and 12th rib the whole time as if they're in cement, except for when you round over your legs and you want to keep your arms perpendicular with the mat or the ground. So we're going to inhale, begin to articulate back. When my sacrum hits the mat, Oh, I'm sorry, my hands up here. I'm going to exhale the rest of the way down. My arms are still coming out of my sternum 12th rib. It's keeping me from using momentum. I'm going to inhale from there and reaching up at an angle still. When my sacrum begins to peel up, I'm going to exhale. And I'm going to reach forward, rounding over the barrel, bringing my biceps up by my ears. Keeping the C-shaped curve, I'm going to begin to articulate back. But my arms are going to begin to pull forward. And then as I begin to articulate down, they're going to stay coming out of my sternum and 12th rib. So I'm not going to reach them forward any longer. I'm going to cement them into my body. Inhale up. When I exhale and I begin to peel my sternum off, my arms will eventually begin to slide over the top to the tabletop again, just like in spine stretch. I'm going to inhale to pull back, still in the C-shaped curve, gazing down at my legs. My arms are eventually going to peel off of the tabletops as I begin to articulate down. And I'm going to inhale up, pressing down with my hamstrings so that my legs don't float, and fold over my legs. We're not going to speed this up. We're just going to use the control. And see how deep of a connection we can make with our roll up. Now inhale, drawing your ribs to your hips, pressing energy out of your toes to lengthen your legs, and exhale over, gazing down at your legs, still rounding over that barrel just like in spine stretch. We can find lots of connections here to the spine stretch, right? Spine stretch is more of a flat back quality. We're looking for round back here. Let's do one more. We're going to inhale. And then inhale back. And when our sacrum hits, we're going to exhale down. Place your hands flat down by your side. Walk your knees up so your feet are flat. Walk your feet away from you just a little bit. We're going to curl up and we don't want to crunch or tuck. We're going to find our nice flat sacrum here, nice and heavy. Again, just like in spine stretch, we're going to find the neutral spine. It's going to be easier to find when lying down. We have a slight lift in our back from the tip tops of our hips to our 12th rib. Our 12th rib is sinking into the mat. We're not flaring up in our back. My shoulder blades are nice and wide and flat across my back. My collarbones are nice and wide. I have a soft sternum, but my ribs are drawing together. So from there, I'm going to float my fingertips up out of my 12th rib sternum towards the ceiling. My palms are flipped away from me. I'm squeezing my legs together. I'm going to inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching for the end of the mat, squeezing under my arms by shooting energy out of my fingertips. Inhale back down and exhale to curl up. Inhale down. We'll do one more and then we're going to add on a single leg march to tabletop and down. So we're going to curl up, and as we curl up, we're going to march our right leg up to tabletop. Tabletop is with a flat shin and your knee directly over your hip. And inhale down. And exhale to curl up, marching our left leg up. Flat shin, knee directly over your hip. And down. And exhale to curl up. And inhale down. And exhale to curl up. One more on each side. Draw your ribs to your hips. Make sure your sacrum's heavy the whole time, right? Good. Let's go ahead and add on. Reach your arms hovering off the mat down by your side. Float your right leg up to tabletop. Inhale, exhale to curl up. We're going to do single leg stretch with one foot on the mat on one side at a time. So I'm going to reach my left hand into my right knee. My right hand's going to reach the outside of my ankle. I'm not doing this to hold on and give my abs a break. I'm doing this to make sure that my knee stays in alignment. So I'm going to extend my leg without moving my hands and pull it back. When you do both legs, obviously you'll move your hands. But for right now, we're going to give it a break, right? And here's 3. Place that foot down on the mat. Now find the other foot up in tabletop. Place your right hand on the inside of your left knee and your left hand on the outside of your left ankle. Curl up a little bit deeper. Now extend and pull for 3. And here's 2. Don't allow anything in your body to shift. You're just uncreasing in the hip flexor and creasing again. Rest your foot, lower your head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to add on with speed and difficulty and do the full single leg stretch exercise, 3 on each side in a curl up position. If you're having neck problems, please feel free to rest your head, neck, and shoulders during this exercise. One foot to tabletop, other foot up. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Extend your left leg as you keep your right leg in at tabletop. Inhale through the center at tabletop and exhale to the left side. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Again, when my right knee's bent, my left hand's on the inside of my right knee. My right hand's reaching towards my ankle. I'm going to inhale to switch. And then my right hand's reaching into my left knee. And my left hand's reaching to my left ankle. Give your legs a nice hug. And rock gently from side to side. Go ahead and extend your legs on the mat. Inhale, exhale. Can you float your leg up with control and no speed? My right leg came up to the ceiling. It's as if it's a post coming out of the ground. My hip is grounded and my toes are pointing straight up. If you cannot find this for flexibility, go ahead and lower your leg, but we don't want to tuck in our tail. So now I'm going to flex my foot and lower it to working level, which is my hundreds level. I'm going to point it and I'm going to float it back up slowly and with control. And then I'm going to flex and lower my leg for 1, 2, 3. I'm going to point and lift up 1, 2, 3. And flex, lower 1, 2, 3. Point, lift 1, 2, 3. While I'm here, I'm pressing my left leg into the mat, just like we were talking about for roll-up. Really pressing my hamstring down. Now I'm going to leave this hip grounded, my right hip grounded. I'm going to come across my body, back to center, and just away an inch, because I don't want my left hip to float. Come back to center, come across my body with my leg, or across the midline. Come back to center and go away from the midline, or away from the body. I'm really pulling in with my opposite side obliques to maintain my neutral spine. And across, and away. Come back to center. Now we're going to take the lower and lift and the across the body tick-tock movement. We're going to combine them for single leg circles. 3 in each direction. So we're going to go across the body and back up. And inhale on your way down and exhale as it goes away. Really pull down with the opposite side oblique so you're not shifting. And now we're going to reverse. We're going to inhale away from the body and exhale back up. Press down with your arms to help maintain your neutral spine. And 1 more. Now, float that leg down with control. Before you lift the left leg, press down through the hamstring on the right leg to help stabilize your body, and then float that left leg up slowly and with control. Make sure you didn't hike your hip when you did that. Flex your foot and lower for 1, 2, 3. Point your foot and lift 1, 2, 3. And flex 1, 2, 3. And point 1, 2, 3. 1 more. Flex. Lower 1, 2, 3. Really pull down in that neutral spine so you don't arch in your back. Up 1, 2, 3. Now it's time for the obliques. We're going to go across the midline or across the body. Come back to center. Pull down with these right side obliques as your leg floats away from your body. Back to center. Across the body and center. Away, pull down with those obliques and back to center. Now across and center and away. Pull down those obliques and center. We're going to go across the body for 3 circles in that direction, and then away from the body first for 3 circles in that direction. So inhale and exhale on the way up. And inhale and exhale up. And inhale for the final one, and exhale up. Now inhale away, exhale up. And here's 2. Connecting both the movements that we just did and speeding it up. Go ahead and hug your legs into your chest. Gently rock yourself from side to side. We're going to break down the double leg stretch. We're going to slow down scissors a little bit. And then we're going to do hundreds. This is a lot of curl-ups, so we're not going to break down hundreds because technically we really already have, haven't we? We've been squeezing under the arms. We haven't really been pulsing, but we've been squeezing under the arm. We've been working on curl-up, and we're going to work on the leg extension with a double leg stretch. So we've already broken down the hundreds for quite a bit. And then we're going to add it all together and speed it up because nobody wants to do hundreds slowly, right? So we're going to bring our legs to tabletop. Arms down by your side again. We're going to inhale, exhale to curl up. Now reach your hands up towards your ankles. Don't hang on for dear life again, right? Now, without moving your upper body, we're going to extend our legs to working level and pull it back in. Don't allow your back to arch. That's what we're really focusing on here. Don't arch the back. One more. And now leave your legs there and bring your biceps up by your ears without losing your curl up, and bring your hands back down to your ankles. And biceps up to ears without losing your curl up, and back down. One more. Now let's add it all together. So curl up even deeper, extend your arms, extend your legs. Circle your arms to a T and exhale to pull in. You can just do the reach and pull too if you want without the T. But we're going to extend our arms, extend our legs, circle our arms to a T, and exhale back in. Final one. Now without resting your head, neck, and shoulders, extend your legs up to the ceiling, reach your arms long, scissor your right leg down, and reciprocal switch. Slow with control. Switch slow. Switch slow. Switch slow. Switch slow. Leave your right leg up, add the pulse. Hold on at your ankle, calf, or thigh, not behind the knee because it'll bend, and pulse, pulse. By bending your arms out and squeezing under the arms to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Pulse, pulse. Don't reach up towards the leg. Allow the leg to come to you before you pulse. Final set. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice rock from side to side. Rock your head from side to side. We've done a lot of forward flexion work today. You might be feeling it in your neck. If you are, please feel free when we do the hundreds to support your head in one hand while you pump with the other hand, and then switch and pump with the other hand. So let's do equal number. So you do 20 with no hands, you do 40 with one hand, you do 40 with the other hand, or you do 30, 30, and then a final set with no hands. But whatever you do, let's even it out, okay? So legs up to tabletop, fingertips coming out of the sternum up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale to curl up and reach long. And we're going to begin pumping above the hips. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze your glutes. Draw the ribs towards the hip. Have nice open collarbones, nice wide flat shoulder blades like we've been talking about. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your feet an inch without arching in the back. 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your feet an inch. Curl up even deeper. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw your knees into your chest. Let's go ahead and do another break it down exercise. We're going to do elbow to knee. We're going to do the same way as we did single leg stretch with one foot on the ground, one leg moving for 3. We're going to switch legs, and then we're going to combine the whole exercise. So let's bring our right leg up to tabletop. We're going to interlace our fingers. Place them at the base of your skull, and so your thumb's long down your neck. When you interlace your fingers, it allows your head to become heavy in your hands, and it's going to give you the opportunity to make your abs do more work. Float your arms up to your periphery. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Now extend your leg. As you pull it back in, rotate, dropping your right elbow towards the mat and come back to center. Don't drop your body, just the elbow. The trick of this game is keeping your curl up and adding a rotation. Come back to center, bring your knee to tabletop, lower, don't lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Bring your left leg to tabletop, extend it, pull it and rotate, dropping your left elbow towards the mat. Come back to center, extend your leg, pull your leg and rotate. Curl up even deeper, one more, and extend. Now pull it in, bring your right leg up to tabletop. Extend your left leg, rotate towards the right leg, and back to center to tabletop. And rotate towards the left, curl up even deeper. This is 2. Inhale through the center. Don't allow your hips to rock when you do this exercise. Now, go ahead and rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Platform your arms down by your side. We're going to have nice wide shoulder blades. a nice wide collarbone. I'm in a nice neutral spine and I'm pulling my knees in. I might be imprinted a little bit and that's fine, but we don't want to tuck our tail. We're going to do reverse ab curl. So press in strongly through your triceps and your hands. You don't want your shoulders to jump through this. All we're going to do is imprint our spine and peel our tailbone off and lower it back down and come to neutral. Imprint our spine, tuck our tail, lower it back down and come to neutral. And imprint and lift and lower. Imprint and tuck. As little shoulders as possible, right? Imprint, tuck. Imprint, tuck. One more. Imprint, tuck. Good. Extend your legs up to the ceiling. Again, we're going to make a basket weave with our hands. Support our head and our hands. Our thumbs are going to be long down our neck. We're going to do double leg lower lift. And then we're going to do corkscrew. Arms in your elbows in your periphery. Inhale, exhale to lift. Curl up deep. Flex your feet and lower for 1, 2, 3. Point your feet and hold it for 1, 2. Now float up for 1, 2, 3. Flex your feet, lower 1, 2, 3. Point, float up 1, 2. Now float up 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. Flex, lower 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're not arching in your back. Up 1, 2, 3. Leave your feet pointed. We'll reverse down 1, 2, 3. Curl up deeper. Flex 1, 2. Up 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3. Flex 1, 2. Up 1, 2, 3. Final one. Point down 1, 2, 3. And flex 1, 2, 3. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Leave your feet up at the top. Let's break down corkscrew just like we did for single leg circle. Sorry. We just did the double leg lower lift, but reach it away from you a few inches and pull it back up for 1. Both legs glued together. And 2. Don't allow your back to arch. And here's 3. Now both legs will move to the right. When they do that, the legs will rub against each other, making the right leg longer than the left, because the left hip is grounded into the mat. Come back to center, move your legs to the left. I've grounded my left hip, so now my right hip, so now my left leg's longer than my right. This is because your hip flexor is stopping the movement of your body, right? Just like in single leg circle, you can platform through your arms and use their support to help stabilize your body. One more to the left. Now come up. Now we're going to do one circle in one direction, one circle in the other direction, switching every time. We're going to go to the left first. Keep both hips grounded. Now to the right, inhale away and exhale back up. Now to the left, inhale away, keep both hips grounded strongly. Exhale back up. Now inhale to the left. That's the word I'm looking for. Exhale up the right. Let's do one more, so let's count. Inhale. Really stabilize the body, dropping the belly button to the spine, drawing the ribs together. Now float both legs down, 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 down. We're going to roll over onto our stomachs. We're going to do some back extension work. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do swan prep. Then we're going to lift both of our legs a few times to get ready for a modified sort of swan dive. We're going to do a modified swan dive, and we're going to go into sideline legs. So I'm going to take my glasses off real fast because they get in my way during back extension. I'm going to place my head flat on the mat. I'm going to squeeze my biceps into my ribs, place my hands under my shoulder in a super tight 11. I'm going to wrap my ribs together, draw my belly button up and in as if I'm trying to let a little trail of ants under my belly button. I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs and squeeze my glutes. The more I squeeze my inner thighs and draw my belly button up to my spine, the more I protect my low back. If you feel any of these exercises in your low back, especially when we start swan dive, draw your belly button up to your spine even tighter. If you continue to feel a twinge, squeeze your legs together all the way. If that doesn't work, please find a child's pose. So we're going to inhale. As we inhale, we're going to squeeze our biceps into our ribs and begin to press down into the pinky blade edge of our hands. That's going to help to engage under our arms even more to keep our shoulders away from our ears. And then I'm going to articulate back down on the exhale. And I'm going to inhale, squeezing under the arm. As soon as you feel your shoulders start to pop up by your ears, stop and go back down. One more. Squeeze your inner thighs, draw your belly button up and in. Wrap your ribs. We want a nice continuous line from the tip top out of our head, out through our tailbone. And exhale down. Now, leaving your arms where they are, make your legs light by squeezing your glutes and hamstrings. And now pulse up for 1 and 2. Nothing in your upper body should move. This is all glute work. Here's 5 and 6. Now just leave your legs light on the mat, not necessarily pulsing the glutes. We're going to inhale to press ourselves up into the swan prep. From there, we're going to release our hands and allow our body to drop, squeezing our glutes and inner thighs to float our legs up. Place your hands down and inhale to come back up to swan prep, and exhale to come down into a swan dive. Inhale to press your body up and exhale down. Don't allow your head to drop first. I don't know if my head did that or if I felt my hair. And then exhale down, 1 more. Now from there, lower your legs, press yourself back into a child's pose. Sit back with your glutes on your heels. Extend your arms long in front of you. Let's talk about a concept we're going to use later in class. It's called thread the needle. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to bring it underneath my left arm and look out underneath my left arm or underarm or however you'd like to put it, out my left side. Try to get your ear on the mat if you're able to. Come back to center and exhale over to the right side, threading the needle there. Now come back through the center. Articulate yourself up to sitting up tall. I'm going to come down to laying on my right side first. So, I'm going to line my back to my glutes up with the back of the mat. And I'm not going to reach my head forward for my hand. I'm going to bring my arm back to my head. So I'll get a nice stretch down the back of the tricep too, right? While I'm doing that, I want to make sure I'm not flaring my ribs out, and I want to lift up out of my side from my hip to my 12th rib. So I want to have a little lift so a trail of ants can go underneath my hip. To naturally make that happen, I'm going to shoot energy out of my top leg to really lift up out of that side and not sink down into it, right? I'm going to flex both my feet. I have equal weight on the outside of my right foot. When I start to shift or rock on it, I'm going to know that I'm using my body weight to move my leg. Try not to round in on your shoulder to hold yourself up. Roll your shoulder up, back, and down. Place gentle fingertips on the mat if you need some support, but you don't need to hang on for dear life by rounding in on your shoulder, right? So I'm going to float my foot up to hip height, point it, I'm going to bring it forward, I'm going to flex my foot, and I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to squeeze my glutes slightly, just like we did for swan dive, and bring my foot so that my heel and my toe are lined up. We don't need to go back any further than that. This is called a reciprocal foot. Point it and bring it forward. We'll talk about that more later too. And flex and pull back to the reciprocal foot position. And point forward and flex and pull back. Now I'm going to crease at the hip flexor and extend, flex. You know it would be flex, right? And crease and flex. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale and exhale. Here's inhale and exhale. And here's inhale. Let's do one more. And then we're going to stack our legs, but leave that foot up at hip height. So they're going to be separated. Shoot that energy out of the top leg, squeeze the top leg to the bottom, and pull it apart. And squeeze and pull it apart with your outer leg. Don't come up past the hip height. The reason for that is that we don't want to come into other muscles. We're trying to stay in that outer glute muscle, right? Draw your ribs together. Try to stack both hips directly on top of one another. Here's 8 and 9 and 10. Keep it up at hip height. Now we're going to take the bottom leg, squeeze the inner thigh, and bring the bottom leg to the top and lower, and squeeze. Your upper body shouldn't do anything, just like on reverse ab curl. This is all lower body. I know it's tempting for the upper body to help out. It wants to help out so bad, right? It's a hard movement, but the upper body's really not gonna do anything, right? Here's 7, try not to sickle your foot to get the foot up there. 9 and 10. Now point both feet and stack them on top of each other. Squeeze the glutes and tweeze the sits bones to really turn it out. We're gonna keep the femur rotating the hip socket the whole time. Flex your foot up, or point your foot up and flex to lower. Really shoot energy out of that foot so you're not sinking into your side when you lower and lift. And lift and flex to lower. Make sure you're also not rocking to the back when you lift. You wanna squeeze your glutes the whole time. Here's 5. And here's 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. Now, leaving your foot up at hip height, but pointed and turned out, we're gonna do 5 small circles in each direction. We normally do 10, but we're gonna do 10 medium circles after this. It's more difficult, and there's a greater possibility that your body will rock. So we're only doing 5 in each direction, so let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, circles the size of a bender ball or squishy ball, we're gonna go 5. Slow down, 4, 3, 2, 1. These burn, right? And here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stack your legs. Bring your legs to a clam position. We're going to bring our body up onto our forearm, squeezing under our arm, our shoulders directly over our elbow. I have a 90-degree position from my body to my thighs, 90 degrees from my thighs to my calves, and my feet are flexed. I'm gonna float my feet up an inch. Don't go like this, you're gonna sink. Just a little bit to create a little bit of a different feeling. We're gonna open by rotating the femur in the hip socket, really squeezing our glutes and squeeze our inner thigh to close it. I'm not rocking back onto my hip. If I feel any movement in my thigh, I'm gonna know that I'm actually rocking back to make the movement happen. I'm gonna squeeze my glutes even tighter so that the rocking no longer occurs. Here's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay up at the top. Now pulse your outer glute for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your legs together. Lower your feet to the mat. Now, we're gonna move the top leg as one unit. We're gonna open it, squeezing the glute, rotating the femur in the hip socket, not rocking back, and squeeze our inner thigh together. And now we're gonna open and close for 2. Lift up out of your side closest to the mat. Keep breathing. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just going to 10. Squeeze your glutes. 10, stay up at the top, and now pulse 1 with the glutes. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower your leg with control. We're going to roll back onto our stomachs for one more back extension exercise before we roll over to the other sideline legs. We're going to do a modified double leg kick. I'm going to make a pillow with my hands and rest my forehead onto it. Before we begin, let's glue our hands to our forehead and lower and lift one time. Now, odds are you want it to lift up, your arms are here, your head's no longer connected. Make your hands hold your head up, so your back's doing the work, not your neck, and lower. Let's try that one more time. Make your head super heavy, leave it as heavy as it is, and lift. And now lower. Again, we've wrapped our ribs, we've drawn our belly button up to our spine, and we're squeezing our inner thighs. This is another exercise where the further you draw your belly button up to your spine, the less low back problems you'll have. So, for the double leg kick, we're gonna make our legs light, and we're gonna pulse in, bringing our heels to our glutes for 1, 2, 3, extend. And now try 1, 2, 3, extend. And now do a back extension with your head on your hands and lower. And now pulse 1, 2, 3, extend and lift and lower. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. Extend, nice and slow. Lift and lower. Now, I'm just going to, if I were you, I would just roll over onto my left side for sideline legs. However, I'm going to turn around and face the camera, and if you want to, you should too. I'm going to line my glutes up to the back of my head along the back of my mat. From there, I'm not going to bring my head forward to my arm. I'm going to bring my arm back to my head and find that nice tricep stretch as well. And then you can kick your feet up slightly in front of you if you'd like for more support. Whew, I'm having trouble finding my body on this side. Here we go. I'm going to press energy out of my top leg so I find that natural lift in my side closest to the mat. I'm going to flex both my feet, and I'm going to feel the equal weight in my bottom foot from the toe to the heel. So then if I start going like this, I'm going to be able to notice it myself. I'm going to float my hip up to hip height, point my toes. I'm going to bring it forward and flex, and then I'm going to squeeze my glutes just like we did for double leg stretch and swan prep, and I'm going to bring my foot back so it's reciprocal with my bottom foot. That means I'm toe to heel. My toes are behind my heel. So the toes on my top foot are behind my heels, my standing or my grounding leg. And point and flex. Here's 2. You shouldn't be tucking or tilting on this. It's a glute squeeze, right? Woo! My load of my legs got a little crazy there, and I did not weight it properly, and I knew it because my foot floated off the mat. Here's 6. Here's 7. Here's 8. After this, we'll stack our feet on top of each other, but leave our top leg at hip height and squeeze an inner thigh and pull apart with our outer thigh for 10. So stack your feet, squeeze them with your inner thigh, bring your top leg to your bottom, and then pull it apart, shooting energy out of your top leg, squeeze it with the outer glute, and now in and out, and squeeze, and separate. The second legs are always harder than the first leg because the grounding on the first leg is a lot of work. And so it's already tired. Just a hip height. Remember, we don't want to start working other muscles. 2 more. Abs up and in, drawing our ribs together. And now without moving your top leg, squeeze your bottom leg to your top and release. Again, try not to use your upper body. Try to place your hand on your hip if you find yourself shoving into the mat. It's tempting to do, right? But we want to eliminate that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now stack your feet. Turn it out to a Pilates V. Squeeze your glutes. Make sure that you're not rocking back in that low back. It can cause pain. Lift up out of your side closest to mat. Shoot energy out of your top leg and float it up. Don't sink into your side as you lift, and flex to lower. That's 1. And point to lift and flex to lower. That's 2. I just wanted to pop my shoulder up to my ear, so I'm going to place my hand on my hip so I can try to really stay out of that. We're going to end class with some push-ups today, and we don't want to encourage our shoulders up to our ears already. Really rotate as you lift and rotate as you lower. Make sure that you're not rocking back or forth on your stabilizing leg. Let's do 2 more. And then we're going to do the 5 circles in each direction, small and then medium. So leave your foot up at hip height, really rotate the femur in the hip socket. Make this movement come from where the glutes and the thigh meet, and we're going to do 5 small circles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No rocking in the body, and reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now 5 medium circles in one direction, the size of a squishy ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Again, think of the first exercise we did in sideline legs, the front and back. Really squeeze the glute to get it behind. Good. Stack your legs. We're going to come into the clam position. So we're going to come onto our forearm. Our shoulder is going to be over our elbow. We're really squeezing it under our arm. I have a 90-degree bend from my body to my thighs, from my thighs to my shin, and my feet are flexed. I'm going to flip my feet up just an inch. And I'm going to rotate the femur in the hip socket, squeeze the glutes, don't rock back on that low back, and squeeze it back together with the inner thighs. And here's two. The inner aspects of my feet are squeezed together the whole time. Think of opening a book and closing the book. Don't lift your feet up too high, or you're not going to be able to lift up out of your side closest to the mat. You're going to sink down like this and get into your neck. Here's 7, 8, and really feeling an outer glute now. Here's 9. On 10, stay up and squeeze your glutes and pulse for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower your feet. Now, we're going to do the donkey lift where we lift the whole thing and lower the whole thing. Squeeze the glutes, really rotate the femur and hip socket so you're not rocking back. We're going to open and close and open lift. This is layering on. Woo! That's a burner, right? After this, we're going to go ahead and do some stretches. We're going to do saw, open leg rocker, and then right into bridging. Here's 8. Here's 9. On 10, stay up and pulse with the glutes for 10. 9, tiny. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Gently press yourself up to a seated position. We're going to do some diamond leg stretches. I'm going to come in at an angle on my mat. You're welcome to sit however you would like. A diamond is not straight leg, and it's not bent leg and a butterfly. It's somewhere in between. I have a nice loose diamond. I'm going to gently hold on to my shins, never your knee, but if that's not available to you, you can gently place your hands on your thighs. And we're going to round forward for a tiny little upper body cat-cow. And then lift just my sternum area up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Now crunching my head to the back of my back. Inhale and exhale. Press down with your pinky blade edge so you're squeezing under your arms. And inhale and exhale to lift. And now we're going to rotate. So I'm going to bring my left hand to my right leg, or my right hand to my left leg. I'm going to float my left hand behind me. I'm not going to crank with it, and I'm going to rotate. Come back to center, and I'm going to come the other way. I'm not pressing, or I'm not pulling with my hands. I'm pressing down into my shin, and I'd be pressing down into the floor. Just to elongate my spine, not to pull it any further. If you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, back problems, neck problems, please do not do this exercise. One more stretch exercise. We're going to do this side bend. I'm going to come this way for side bend. My feet will hang off because my diamond is longer. The diamond is longer than the butterfly. And now I'm going to bring my right hand down, bend my elbow slightly in towards, I don't want to pop like this. I want to squeeze under my arm, bring my elbow towards my hips as I bring my fingers to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Then I'm going to squeeze up with my left side obliques. Bring my right arm up, bring my left elbow into my hip, and reach for where the wall and the ceiling meet on the left side. I'm going to squeeze my obliques to come back up. I'm going to do that 2 more times to each side. All right, let's get into some more rotation after this last set. We're going to go into saw. Come up to sitting up tall. I'm going to stretch my feet out in front of me, just like we started class with a spine stretch. My feet are going to be flexed and pulling up on the muscles on the tops of my kneecaps. If I have hamstring issues, I'm going to bend my knees slightly. My feet are separated only a scotch wider than my hips. I'm going to bring my arms out to a T, spiraling out to my pinky blade edge, bringing them slightly forward in my periphery. Pull your arms apart to flatten and widen your shoulder blades. Inhale to rotate towards the left. Don't move your legs. If they start rocking like this, then you're rotating from the belly button down. We're only rotating from the belly button up. Now dive over, rounding over your barrel, just like at the beginning of the class. Bringing your bicep up by your ear, your back palm will flip up. reach for your toe. Articulate up, inhale through center, rotate to the left, don't allow your legs to shift, and exhale to dive down and soft your toe. We're going to add the pulse in just a few, but for right now, we're just going to run over the barrel and reach. Keep your shoulders down. After this last one, we're going to add a pulse. Make sure that you're not collapsing down the front of your body when you do it. You have such a nice lift right now over the barrel. We're just going to pulse your ribs to the hips, pulse the ribs to the hips. Rotate towards the left, dive down, pulse the ribs to the hips, pulse the ribs to the hips. Articulate up, inhale through center, exhale to the other way, and pulse ribs to the hips, pulse the ribs to the hips. When you're doing this, make sure you're not all excited and sort of shifting in your legs. Place your arms down by your side, give them a shake. Now scoot your glutes in towards your heels. I've heard it called pinpointing your feet together in the center. It's where your feet will be together and your knees will be separated. I like to pull my pants up a little bit here because I like to hold on to my ankles. I think that that's most stable for me personally. We're going to go into open leg rocker. If you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, low back issues, neck issues, there are a few starting exercises that you should do. Instead of rolling, you should not roll like a ball. I'm going to place my hands on the tops of my ankles. I'm not going to hold on for dear life right here, right? I'm going to tuck my tail, rock back slightly. My toes are going to be pointed. They're going to be hovering off the mat. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades up, back, and down. My knees are wider than my shoulders right now because my arms are in the center. But when we begin to rock, it is a goal that our legs should be no wider than our shoulders. But to begin, we're going to inhale, exhale, and bring our left leg up in line with our shoulders, hopefully, and lower. And exhale to lift our right leg and lower. If you can't find this, gently hold on behind your knees. Don't hang on for dear life. And extend your left leg and lower. Now extend your right leg and lower. If you have the flexibility, go ahead and grab onto the fronts of your ankles and extend both legs and lower. Again, if I do not have the flexibility, I can go to here and extend from here and then lower. Now, we're going to extend up. We're going to hold it. We're going to tuck a little bit and come back up to the lesser tuck. Tuck more. Bring it back up. We're not moving. This is a very controlled movement of drawing our ribs towards our hips and lifting up a little bit. A little bit and a lift. Now, for those of us who can complete the exercise, we're going to tuck our tail, roll back to the tips of our shoulder blades, and exhale back out. Oh, come on, body. There we go. And we're going to inhale back. And exhale up. We have 8. That's 2. Here's 3. Pull down on the fronts of your legs, squeezing under your arms to keep your shoulders away from your back, and it'll help you to maintain a nice position for rolling leg or for open leg rocker. Let's do 2 more, and then we're going into bridging. Hold it. Bring your toes down. Feet flat on the mat, knees bent. Legs squeeze together, reach your arms forward, tuck your tail, roll back. Walk your heels into your glutes for bridging. Try to squeeze your legs together, but feet no wider than your sits bones. Platform your arms down by your side. We are going to do an articulation bridge first. We're going to use the same cues that we did for the reverse ab curl. We're going to imprint our spine, tuck our tail, lift up to our platform on our shoulder blades for a bridge. Squeeze your glutes. Try to make sure that your ribs aren't flaring. Articulate back down. On this next one, go ahead and look down at your knees, make sure they're not flaring or knocking into each other, and articulate back down. We're going to add on to this articulation bridge, imprint and articulate up. Now lift your left ankle, your left heel up and lower, tap and lift. And tap the heel and lift. Don't move your glutes. Keep going, 4 and 5. Make sure your knees are still in line, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lower, and now right foot for 10. Squeeze your glutes forward. 8, 7, don't flare your ribs. Stretch out in the front of that hip flexor by squeezing that left glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that foot up. Lift the other left heel, and then go left and lift, right and lift. Left and lift, right and lift. Don't allow your hips to drop. 3, 4, we're only going to 5, 5. Lower both heels, and now articulate down. From here, we're going to do a hinge bridge where we lift up the body and lower the body all at once. So instead of the articulation, vertebra by vertebra, we're going to lift it up at the same time and lower it. Don't get excited and flare out your ribs when you pop up. This is adding speed to this exercise. We want to make sure that we're not flaring the lift because we're overexcited or going too quickly. So we're going to inhale, exhale, squeeze it up. Really squeeze those glutes. Make sure you're not flaring your ribs. Take a look. Make sure your knees are in line and tap down and squeeze it up. Control, control, control. Tap down and squeeze it up. Now stay there. Now squeeze just where the thigh meets the glute, just like we did for the small circles on the single legs and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 10, or right side. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Make sure your thighs aren't flopping out or in towards each other. Now both for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge bridge. Down. Give your legs a hug. Gently rock from side to side. We're going into can-can, teaser, and then we're going to do some plank work. Leveling up on the plank work. So I'm going to roll onto my side, press myself up to sitting. I'm going to have my feet flat. This is the way I like to encourage people to get into can-can. Getting into can-can can be a little confusing from what I found. I'm going to take my hands, point my fingers towards the end of the mat, and slide them back until they're right behind my glutes. From there, I'm going to squeeze my elbows back and tricep sit back until I'm on my elbows. Don't sink, lift up, but find a nice flat sacrum. One leg to tabletop, other leg to tabletop. We're going to rock to the left and center, and to the right and center. This is a belly button down movement. Pull in with the obliques on the right side to bring your legs back to center. So that means that your forearm should not become light as your legs move from side to side. If they are, don't add on. If they are not, go to the left, extend both legs, bend both legs, come back through center. Go to the right, extend both legs, bend both legs, come back to center. If your forearms are getting light, go to the original can-can movement. Adding on, extend, bend your top leg, bend your bottom leg, tabletop, center. Go to the right and extend, and kick your top leg, kick your bottom leg, tabletop, center. To the left, extend, top leg, bottom leg, tabletop, center. To the right, extend, top leg, bottom leg, tabletop, center. Place your feet down, roll onto your back. We're going to do 3 teasers. We're going to do a classic teaser, a teaser with arms, and a teaser with a 2-inch lower lift of the legs. You can start from here, you can start from tabletop, or I'm going to start with my legs extended. I'm going to reach my arms long by my side. I'm not going to swing my arms around today. I'm going to squeeze in on my arms from here. I'm going to inhale, exhale, begin to articulate out. As I feel my legs become light, I'm going to begin to lift them. I want my eyes in line with my toes the whole time. From there, I'm going to tuck my tail, leave my eyes in line with my toes, and articulate down, down, down to the mat. My feet and head should hit at the same time. Leave your arms squeezed in by your side. Inhale, begin to peel your head off the rest of your body. Exhale to lift, eyes in line with your toes, and circle your arms 3 times away. 1, 2, 3. If your thighs begin to grip, you can micro bend your legs 3 times the other way. Micro bend your legs or turn your legs out. 3. Now tuck your tail. Begin to articulate down with control. Keep your eyes in line with your toes. One more, guys, and then we're gonna go into the side work, plank work. Inhale, exhale, begin to lift, 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 lift. Lower an inch, lift an inch. Lower an inch, lift an inch. One more. Don't move your body, just your feet. Like I just did, I just saw myself in the camera. And begin to lower, 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 lower. Let's come under our left side first. Or right side. I'm doing my left side. Do whatever you want, but just know I'm on my left side, I guess is the point. So, we are going to do some side bend work. We're going to add on twists if you so feel that you're able to add on to that. We're going to do some push-ups. On the knees, we're going to do the same work on the other side. We're going to do some toe push-ups or knee push-ups. And then we're going to do some stretches and be done. So, to set myself up properly for side bend on the knees, I'm going to line my hand up with my knees. So when I squeeze my glutes forward, I'm going to be lined up and I'm not going to be twisted. So I'm going to lift up out of my side. I have my knees stacked on top of each other. I'm going to flip my palm up on the top of my shins. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and press my hips forward. See how my shoulder naturally falls over my wrist since I kept it in line before, and now sit back. We're going to add on. We're going to lift our arm up to a T. And now we can add on from there. If you find this is hurting your wrist, do it on your knuckles on a fist. Now lift up to a T and side bend and come back to a T and lower. These three are options certainly. If you feel like this is good for you and you'd like to add on, I'm going to kick my feet out at an angle. My toes are not past my knees, so it's not like I'm all the way here. They are still bent, but all I've done is I've kicked my feet out. I take my top leg and I make it reciprocal with my bottom foot. So the heel of my top foot is lined up with my bottom leg toes. My hand is flipped up on my palm again. From there, I'm going to press out onto my feet. I might have to adjust from there and come into a T. I can side bend over. I'm going to come back up. If I need to come down all the way, I can. Otherwise, I can dip my hip down and lift it back up and reach over with my side. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to come down and I'm going to lift. And one more. And I'm going to bend my knees to come down. I'll probably have to readjust from there. My hand was too far forward for the side bend because I was done on the knees position. So if you found that happen, you probably came up at an angle, but you were probably still in line. But we do want to adjust that for this next exercise because we are going to go into twist one, also called snake on the mat. This is going to be adding in or incorporating the thread the needle position that we worked on for child's pose. So we're going to stack our feet again in the reciprocal position, and we're going to have our palm up on our shin. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift up into a T position. I'm on my toes here. You can be on the sides of your feet. I prefer to be on my toes. From there, I'm going to tuck up, hiking up at the hip, drawing my ribs to my hips, and I'm going to thread the needle, looking underneath my left arm. From there, I'm going to rotate back out, squeezing my thighs the whole time to a T position and bend my knees to come down and tap my hip. Squeeze under your arm and lift up to the T position. Now begin to articulate towards the center in a one-arm hike and thread the needle. I'm pulling up, up, up as if I'm in round back elephant on the reformer. I'm going to come back out to a T and bend my knees down. Remember all the C-shaped curve work we did at the very beginning of class? Rounding over the barrel? Same position, we just flipped it around. So one more and press it up into a T. Now begin to pull up, 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 up onto the toes. Thread the needle, pull up deeply, draw your belly button to your spine. Come out and then drop it down. Now from there, I'm going to rotate onto my knees, come into a child's pose. This is to set us up for the knee push-ups. It's a nice little break too, but we're going to take a nice inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to press forward. My toes are still together, my knees are apart. My elbows are over, my shoulders are over my wrists. Now I'm going to tricep push-up, bringing my elbows towards my hips and lift. Biceps into ribs, whichever key works for you. Let's do one more. And now I'm going to rotate on to my right side to do the side work from there. Otherwise, I'm going to turn and face the camera. All right, we are going to do the side bend on the knees with the 3 arm positions. I'm going to stack my legs. For this one, I'm going to take my hand and line it up with my knees, and I have my shoulder directly over my wrist. I'm going to flip my palms, or my hand up on my shins. I'm going to inhale, exhale to squeeze my glutes and press up. Wait, I had my arm down first. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to sit back. And then I'm going to press up and bring my arm to a T. And lower. And now we're going to do one more. And if you'd like, you can lift your arm over your head. Bring it to a T, to a side bend. Imagine your body's between 2 panes of glass, not including your shins. And bring it back up to a T and lower it down. Any 3 of those side bends on your knees are acceptable to do for the rest of these exercises, which is the full side bend and twist one or snake. Otherwise, I'm going to bring my hand back towards my hip, which is where it should have been for the first one. Sorry about that. And I'm going to take my top foot and make it reciprocal with my bottom foot. So the heel of my top foot is going to be touching the toes of my bottom foot. I'm going to inhale, exhale to press up into a side bend position. And then I'm going to reach up and over if I'd like to. I'm going to adjust my feet as necessary. My heel was off the back of my elevated mat. And now you can go back down all the way, or you can tap your hip down and lift it back up. The issue with tapping your hip down is that you have to be pretty strong underneath your arm and your lats so that you don't shrug your shoulder up to your ear. Let's do one more. And now squeeze your legs together and bend your knees in. From here, we're going to go into snake or twist one. We have 3. We're going to do 3 more push-ups, and then we're going to go ahead and do some closing stretches, right? I'm going to inhale, exhale, bring it up to a T. Again, I like to come to my toes immediately, but you can see on the sides of your feet. I'm going to tuck my tail, draw up on my ribs, and rotate, threading the needle underneath my right arm. Really pull up and in on your ribs, draw up and in on your lower abs, and rotate back out to a T, and bend it in, and tap your hip, and lift it up to a T, and rotate under, thread the needle, draw your ribs up and in, as a round back pike, let's call it, and down, and one more. And rotate back out to the T, and lower it down. Now, come back into child's pose again. We're going to use this position to come back out to the push-up position. Reach your arms long, long, long. Press out so your shoulders are over your wrists. Tuck your tails and lift. I like to do my push-ups in a Pilates Mat position. I invite you to join me there now. Sorry, that really wore me out. And now I'm going to do push-ups, tricep push-ups, and lift. Elbow to hips, biceps to ribs. One more. And now from there, I'm going to pike, tuck my tail. I'm going to come down to the floor so I can do this with you. And you can still see me. Pike, tuck my tail, my biceps are around my ears, and I'm going to begin to walk back. My heels are going to touch the ground. I'm going to inhale up. And as I exhale, I'm going to do a slight back lift. Or a chest lift. Let's inhale up. Chest lift for a little slight back extension. My head's not touching my back. Let's do one more. Now let's find a nice seated position on the mat to do some wrist stretches. So, I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to reach it out in front of me. I'm going to flip the palm up. I'm going to take my right hand, hold on to the left fingers, and pull the left fingers down towards the mat. I'm going to flip my palm up, say stop, and then I'm going to pull those fingers back towards my nose. Now reach the palm out, palm down, flip the fingers down, the palm will face you, and you'll pull it down from there. Now let's take our right arm, flip it palm up, pull the fingers down towards the mat. Say stop, and pull the fingers back. Now reach the palm out, reach the fingers down, and pull the fingers down towards the mat. The palm will face you. Give them a shake. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for this class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. We really leveled up on quite a few exercises and layered on. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.